Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the PodRats podcast. I'm Brayden. Today we got the usual crew: Alex, Christian, and Hunter.
What
are you doing,
Alex?
Alex is not.
Don't fucking worry about it, man. Just keep on talking.
Okay, and
Alex is not vibing.
and today you'll notice by the title we're not reviewing a movie. Today we're going to talk about our top movies of 2021. But first, we'll look into the world of movies. Alex, we got anything today?
We have movie news, but not a lot of it. So we're starting off with a movie that none of us have seen, Scream 5. The U.S. box office beat Scream 4's lifetime box office after only 1 week in the U.S.
Wow.
Pretty surprising.
I love Scream.
I've heard a lot of people actually like this one.
I have too.
Me too.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
So when you're comparing Scream 5 to Scream 4, is that good numbers? Because did Scream 4 get good numbers?
No.
Okay.
I think, I don't actually know, I haven't read the article, but I think on Twitter, the opening weekend made like 38 million or something for Scream 5, and the entire box office of Scream 4 made that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's good for Scream.
5.
It's good for Scream franchise, though.
Yeah.
Not for anything else.
Scream 4 had 38.2 million full-time.
Damn.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and Scream...
Impressively bad.
Yes. And Scream earned 34 million in its opening week.
Oh, okay.
I feel like they did a good job promoting this movie. Like the promos actually looks pretty good. It looks interesting. I mean, I think I've seen the first Scream and that's it. I honestly didn't even know that they made fucking 4 of them. But this movie actually looks pretty interesting. So
Maybe this will be a movie in the future. All right, on to the next piece of movie news. Don't Look Up. Adam McKay says inclusion of phone sex hotline was an accident.
Yeah?
Yeah.
you gotta have some context.
Someone else added this to my movie news section, so I figured they'd want to talk about it.
No, I think you got it.
You got it. Just just get us the tidbits of the article.
The in-movie crisis phone number actually led to a phone sex hotline. The story was picked up by NBC News, and more people tried to call the hotline. And apparently this was just an accident. They just, someone was like, hey, man, can I get a fake number? And they said, yeah, here's a sex hotline. Here you go. Yeah, just
a fake
use
number.
this. Which honestly, I think kind of fits because the whole movie's satire, right? So,
And they just go, oh, whoops.
yeah.
We should have called that number first.
If you're watching that movie, though, how many people actually fucking call that number? Like 5?
Apparently a lot of people.
Hey, man, when there's numbers in movies, people call them. Because they're curious.
Curious if it's real.
Yeah. All right.
Damn.
And we'll end it with some of the saddest news we've ever had. A fellow rat has passed away. Magawa, the landmine sniffing hero rat, dies at the early age of 8. He was
so young.
I know.
Gone too soon.
It's actually pretty old for a rat.
May he rest in pieces.
Yeah. The charity said that the African giant pouch rat passed away peacefully in the weekend.
Oh.
He was in good health and spent most of his week playing with his usual enthusiasm, but coming to the weekend, he started to slow down, nap more, and was showing less interest in his food. And just
Did you try to make a bomb joke about the
Oh,
rat?
that's how he died. I thought that's how he died this
no,
whole
Brayden.
time.
He died of
He
old
died
age.
in retirement.
Asshole.
I'll have you know.
I thought he blew up.
He was retired.
He was a retired bomb rat.
I thought it, because this is on Twitter. So I thought
Tried to make a bomb joke.
Oh, no.
That's funny. Well,
All right.
He
may
cleared
rest in a single piece.
He cleared 1.5 million square feet of land in his career.
That's crazy.
For a fucking rat,
It's a lot of land.
Jeez.
R.I.P. Megawa.
That's the equivalent of 20 football pitches.
How about that?
I love
Pitches.
that. That's
Football pitches.
Yeah, that's the metric they use.
Football pitches.
Can Magawa
That is-
be the
that is
cover
a-
of our podcast today?
That is a BBC measurement.
Yeah. I can, at the very least, I can put him in there, on the side. Of the
Yeah,
picture or
I
something.
want Magawa in the cover photo.
Hey, Magawa was capable of searching a field the size of a tennis court in 20 minutes. Something I'm going to butcher this name. Apapo says would take a person with a metal detector between 1 and 4 days. He also was awarded the PDSA Gold Medal, sometimes described as the George Cross for animals, for his life-saving devotion to duty.
This was a
He was the
badass
first
rat.
rat to be given the medal in the charity's 77-year history.
Damn. Hey, he's trailblazing the rat community.
He's an honorary member of the podcast.
Just think, if you can train a rat to do that shit, imagine what rats can do.
Imagine what we could train
Podcast.
Delta to do.
Nothing.
True.
Boop a button.
All right.
Hey, we all saw Suicide Squad. Rats take over the world, man.
True. This is true. Very true. Speaking, I think you were giving me a segue there. Speaking of Suicide Squad, let's get in our movies. So the way we're going to do this is we're just going to do, everyone's going to do their 10, and everyone's going to do their 9, and then so on until we get to 1. So the favorite movie, best movie of 2021. And we'll start like how we do ratings, I guess. So Alex, you want to kick us off?
I will kick us off. So in my number 10 spot was House of Gucci, one we saw later this year, which I thought Lady Gaga gave a great performance in.
My number 10 is Seven Prisoners. I think I'm the only one who has this on their top 10. So if you're interested in Seven Prisoners, it is set in Brazil and it highlights a human trafficking case. And it kind of puts the viewer in the shoes of the person who's being trafficked. And it kind of forces you, I guess, to make the moral decision with the protagonist on what you would do in the situation you're put in. And it's a really fucked up situation. And it's just one of them moral questioning movies that you sit back and think about and you're like, damn, like that. There's no good decisions. So
Yeah, me and Christian watched it together. It's at the end of the movie, you're not like happy.
no,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just how I like it.
no. All right, Hunter.
At my number 10 spot, I have West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg. When I saw that Spielberg was doing a West Side Story remake, I was kind of skeptical. It's very different from his previous things he's done. But I mean, when I watched it, it's just directed like so whimsically, so carefree. It was just so hard not to love it. So
At my number 10, I got The Green Knight. I think we didn't review this, right? This is before.
Nope.
yeah.
Okay, this is before we did the podcast. But Green Knight, slow burn fantasy. The cinematography is amazing. I think it'll be probably nominated for an Oscar for cinematography. But yeah, it's one of those movies that I just loved the scale and the scope of it. And it kind of just left me thinking, what the hell afterwards? I don't want to spoil anything, but there's like is it a sash?
Yes.
There's a cum sash in the movie.
sash.
So
Yeah.
that's the only spoiler I'll give. But yeah, that's my number 10.
Guess we'll have to check it out now.
Yeah. Huge spoiler there.
All right, so now we're on to number 9. For my number 9, I said The Last Duel. This was a long one, but I thought that Matt Damon and who's the other big actor in this? The male actor?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver, and then, oh my God, what was the female actor's name?
I don't remember her name.
Anyways, all of the yeah, I know this is horrible for my number 9.
Jodie Comer?
Yeah, sure. All the lead roles in this movie though were awesome. I really appreciated the acting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, my number 9 is The Suicide Squad. James Gunn's Suicide Squad. It was really fucking good, honestly.
You know, I'm really happy you put this on here because I
Yeah.
was very close to putting Suicide Squad
It
in
was
my top 10.
It was just one of those movies that was fun,
It was very fun.
I loved Suicide Squad.
and the whole time you're watching it, there's everything that happens. You're just like that was
It
cool.
was good.
That was
I really
I'm a
liked
little
Suicide
more
Squad.
down on it since watching it because I think I've liked it a little less since it came out, but it's still a very fun movie.
This is our bio quote.
Yeah.
Comes from this movie. So.
I watched it again recently. I think it's better the second time.
You think so?
Yeah, it's really good. It's also very easy to rewatch.
It's a fun time.
My number 9 spot, I have Censor by Pirano Bailey Bond, which is a directorial debut. This movie is about a girl, and she works in the 80s as a movie censor. So when movies were coming out, she's kind of like an FCC employee, and she is tasked with like censoring things that are just deemed too unsafe for the mass public. And it's a real thing that happened in the 80s where a huge part of the population thought that horror movies were like a terrible thing for the general public. So they tried to get them banned and outlawed and censored it like extremely heavily. So this movie kind of deals with that. But it's really entertaining. It's a horror movie. And yeah, that's my number 9.
So my number 9's Red Rocket. I won't get into it too much because I know someone else has it higher. But directed by Sean Baker, starring Simon Rex. It's a dark comedy about an egomaniac trying to get back to the top of the porn industry. It's really funny, but it also makes you feel kind of icky. But yeah,
Kind of icky.
All right, for number 8, Christian will appreciate this one. Free Guy.
Fuck yeah.
Free Guy.
I believe, yeah. So someone else has this a little bit higher.
Somebody. I wonder who.
I wonder who. But this was a really fun movie.
Dude, I loved Free Guy. So
Yeah, I did too. Free Guy was really good.
I think this only got on my list because I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would.
Yeah, absolutely. I went in thinking it would be so stupid, and it was stupid, but it was really good.
It was so fun, dude. All right, my number 8 is Shang-Chi. And looking back on Shang-Chi, this was the first podcast we did, right?
It's a very special movie for us, man.
It was our
Yes,
first podcast. And the movie itself was really good. But for some reason, I find myself looking back on this movie and I'm kind of ashamed I like it for some reason.
Aw,
I don't know why, but it's just like you look back and it's like, yeah, it was there. But then you think about the movie itself and it's like, it was a really good movie. But that's why it's in my top 10 because it was really good. But I don't know if I'd watch it again, you know?
I kind of know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of the I liked it a lot, but I feel like a lot of my liking it a lot might have been like recency bias.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it though when we had the pod. It was a nice change of pace for Marvel movies. I think that's what I appreciate the most about it.
Yeah. My number 8 movie is El Planeta, directed by Amalia Ullman. El Planeta I really, really liked. It's Amalia Ullman's directorial debut, and she is also the main character of the movie. Her and her real-life mother play their respective selves. It's an extremely from-the-heart movie. You can tell it radiates it. It deals with family crises and trauma, and it deals with the family crises and the trauma that results from that. But it deals with it in like an effortlessly comedic way, and it does it extremely well.
So my number 8, and you guys know I had to do it to him. It's Riders of Justice. This is a Mads Mikkelsen movie.
Of course.
And this one's up for debate as if it technically counts as 2021 because I think it maybe came out in festivals in 2020 and it didn't get a worldwide release till 2021. But this is directed by Anders Thomas Jensen. Him and Mads Mikkelsen, if you go through his filmography, he has a bunch of movies with them. They love working together. But this is a movie where you think it's going to start off as just a revenge action flick, and it subverts your expectations, and it's actually really funny, and it's heartfelt, and it tells a story about how men deal with trauma. But yeah, it's very fun. I'd recommend all you guys watch it. It's a really good movie.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
And Mads Mikkelsen, I said it subverts your expectations about a revenge film, but he still gets to shoot guns. So Mads Mikkelsen shooting guns, you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's there not to love?
It's like James Bond.
Yes.
All right, so for number 7, I put Shang-Chi. I thought it was, we just talked about it, but this was a movie that I really enjoyed. I think, again, I kind of feel the same way Christian does from, I don't like saying that I liked it as much as I did, but it did a lot of new stuff. I think the action scenes were really special, and I don't know, it did a lot of good for me.
Yeah. My number 7 is Pig. Am I the only one who has this in there?
I wanted so bad.
I think so.
Okay.
Bro. I wanted so bad.
So a lot of people, at least me, I feel like a lot of people have these expectations is that Pig is about, somebody steals Nicolas Cage's pig and then he goes John Wick on him. right? Like everyone
Yeah.
thinks it's an action movie, and Nick Cage is gonna go get his fucking pig back.
Yes, yes.
Well, I won't get into too many spoilers, but that's not what you should expect going into this movie. This movie is a very slow, sad movie. It's not that slow, I guess. It's only an hour and a half, so it doesn't feel that long. But it's a sad, slow movie about just kind of what it feels like to be alone after you lose someone you love. And it's not necessarily you stole my fucking pig movie. But
Yeah, it's interesting you put it at 7. I just talked about Riders of Justice. They're kind of in the same vein where you very much think, oh, it's a Nick Cage movie. It's going to be Nick Cage being Nick Cage, and it's not at all. But yeah, it's a very good movie.
My number 7 movie is a documentary, and it is Roadrunner, a film about Anthony Bourdain, directed by Morgan Neville. Making a documentary about somebody that is as influential and unique as Anthony Bourdain isn't easy. I think Roadrunner, though, does it really, really well, and just about as good as it can be done. It's really moving. It's really powerful. It's really well told. And I think it does a really good job of preserving the person who Bourdain was without trying to, spice anything up or do any stereotypical documentary things.
What are we on?
7.
7? Okay, 7 numbers.
Man, you can't miss this one.
No, yeah. My number 7 is Dune. I would have it higher, but it's not a finished product. Got to wait for Dune Part 2 because that could drop the ball. We don't know. I don't think it will. I have faith in Denis, but yeah, I would have it way higher. But just because it's a Part 1, I don't think I can. That is compared to the other movies on my list.
Yeah. All right, number 6. Benedict made it on my list. Power of the Dog. I actually watched this movie not that a week ago, if that, and this was a really good movie. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I thought it was just going to be about cowboys out on the farm, and they toss a little Brokeback Mountain in there, gave it a little something special.
Now I gotta watch it.
Mommy trouble. It was a good one.
It's got some spice in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just like Dune.
just like Dune.
my number 6 is the same as Brayden's number 6.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to say Titan. Brayden's going to say Teton.
Teton.
Hunter's going to say Teton and give you a whole monologue later about it. But this was a movie that you don't know what to expect going into it.
Mm-mm.
And it really throws some surprises at you. And I think that's all I'm going to say for now.
Yeah,
about
I'm gonna keep mine short too. I have it written down right here. I have super weird, super grotesque, super French, and I super loved it. So
it. There you go.
there you go.
My number 6 is The French Dispatch, directed by Wes Anderson. The French Dispatch is really the Wes Anderson movie of Wes Anderson movies. It encompasses all those techniques that he's become so known for over the years that he uses to craft that authentic feel and aesthetic that he does really, really well. And it wraps all those techniques up into this really warm and inviting package. And it never takes itself too seriously, but it's still so obvious that it's done with just so much passion.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. I don't have it on my top 10, but I really enjoyed French Dispatch. It took me a while to get in the groove of how it was telling its story,
Yeah.
but after that, I loved it the whole way.
Yeah, I was very skeptical at first, but as it kind of went on, and especially I think this first time I watched it, I rated it lower than the second time I watched it. But the second time I watched it, I feel like I appreciated it a lot more because I kind of knew what I was getting into.
I will say, I'm just now thinking of this. In my review on Letterboxd, I said I wish I would have saw it in a theater, and I really wish I would have. But if you don't watch this with subtitles, I don't know how well it's gonna go for you.
That's true.
They talk really fast.
They talk very fast.
That's just a Wes Anderson staple. But yeah.
All right. We're breaking into the top 5.
It's getting serious now.
It is getting serious. Now, I feel like 3 of these are pretty easy to guess because I think we've done podcasts on them. But starting at my number 5, No Time to Die. After watching all, in my head, I would have thought that this would have gone higher, but after watching all of the previous ones with Christian, this movie just holds a very special place in my heart.
I agree.
Yeah, I also agree. Speaking of movies that hold a very special place in my heart, my number 5 movie is Free Guy. And I went and saw this with Hunter and his girlfriend. And we went in thinking it was going to be a fun kids movie. And it was the most fun, not necessarily kids movie that I had seen since I was a child. Like it was just such a good time the whole way through. And it kept me engaged. I don't know. Certain kids' movies just have those lulls, and this movie was just so fun the whole time. And Brayden will joke that this should have been my number 1 movie,
I was about
probably.
to say that.
Yeah. But because I loved it so much. But if you haven't seen Free Guy, you need to see it. It's fun.
We use fun a lot to label movies, I feel like.
We
But
do.
if there's a definitive fun movie of the year, I think it's Free Guy.
You know, we were in the theater like with literal 10-year-olds
Yep.
like sitting on either side of us, and we were laughing like harder than they were. So
I watched in 40X. It was
yeah.
freaking time.
I was gonna say, Brayden and I watched this on 40X, and that was one of the best 40X movies I think you could see. That and Ghostbusters, man, those are experiences.
Sadly, Ghostbusters did not make my top 5, but my number 5 movie is Dune by Denis Villeneuve. Not much needs to really be said about Dune. I mean, we've talked about it before.
We had an hour-long podcast about
I'm
it.
sure you've heard it talked about before. Its scale, its cast, the subject matter, it all speaks for itself. Dune really did have high expectations that were set for it, but I feel like it gave audiences exactly what was expected. A truly monumental film in modern sci-fi cinema.
So my number 5 is Drive My Car. I won't talk too much about it because someone else has it higher. But if you haven't seen it, if you get a chance to see it, I don't know how available it'll be for streaming soon. But it's probably going to win Best International Picture. And if you're going to make a movie about a car, at least make the car look pretty and retro, and that's what they did. So
True.
Drive My Car.
All right, number 4. Hunter said it great. I think Brayden said it great. It's Dune. I mean, no, not much more needs to be said. If you want our opinions on it, go back to the podcast.
We talked about it quite a lot.
Yeah, we did.
All right, my number 4, Brokeback Mountain Senior.
Yes,
I
sir.
thought you were actually going to say Brokeback Mountain.
Power of the Dog. This is a really fun movie, and I said it again, it's fun.
Fun.
It's fun. All right. Listening to Benedict Cumberbatch play the banjo.
Okay, that is one
It's the most fun you could ever
That-
have.
of this movie.
It was so good. It was
Most
so
fun
good.
you could ever have in a movie.
It was so fun. I don't know. It really is
It is.
it's a tragic movie,
Yeah,
but
it's a tragically fun movie.
I enjoyed it. This is Power of the Dog was one of those movies. It's available on Netflix, so everyone should be able to watch it. It was one of those movies I actually rated lower initially, and the more I thought about it, the more detail I realized was there from the director. I don't know. I just I loved it a lot more the second and third day the more I thought about it. So, number 4.
My number 4 is going to be Judas and the Black Messiah, directed by Shaka King. Judas and the Black Messiah was one of the first movies I remember watching this year.
Yeah, it
probably
came
because
out
it was
real
literally
early. Yeah. I think
one
it
of the
was
first.
January.
Yeah, literally one of the first movies that came out this year. But Judas and the Black Messiah features 2 of my favorite performances of 2021 with Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield. Absolute masterclasses. So good. The characters just feel so real and believable, and it's beautifully shot. So go see it if you haven't.
This is one of those where I saw that Hunter had put it on the list, and I immediately regretted not putting it on my list because I'd seen it so early, like he said, so early in this year that I forgot to put it on here. But this is a great movie. I cried.
It's really good.
It's incredibly moving. It's a very powerful story, and it's a great watch.
So my number 4 is Mass, and I don't really know what to say about Mass, so I'm just going to read my Letterboxd review on that. I tried for 20 minutes to type a review of how I interpreted Mass, but I couldn't find the right words. It's truly tragic, beautifully heartbreaking, and one that is guaranteed to make me cry like a little baby. And I did cry, I'm not lying. I cried 3 times, 3 separate intervals in this movie.
Little piss baby?
Yes. I can't say like really anything more about Mass because it kind of gives away the whole movie. But it's just 4 people in a room, and they're discussing some trauma, and it's really sad, and it's beautifully done. And they better win. What is the Oscar for like the cast as a whole? Best
like
ensemble.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it's a freaking. It's rigged. All right.
Rigged.
Oscars are rigged.
I'm gonna have to give this one a watch, Brayden. Thank you. All right, now we're cracking into the top 3. So Brayden had this one a little bit lower, but Drive My Car. This is a long movie, and I kind of wish we would have done its own review on it. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this one than my other ones. It's a 3-hour movie, and it feels like a 3-hour movie, but the emotions of this movie are crazy to me. How showing every moment of silence and those lulls kind of they heighten your emotions. They make you relate more to the characters, and seeing his story of how he copes with things. And I felt like everyone can relate to, what's the main character's name? I don't know my review.
Oh, I don't remember. Hold on. Research.
Sorry guys, this is bad.
You could say Kafuku. That's his last name. I don't want to try to say his first name.
Okay. Kafuku, just the way that he deals and processes with emotions is very, very touching. This whole movie was great. And then the bond that he brings with his driver, like, I mean, that's the whole point of the movie, right? Drive My Car. You know, he has this emotional connection to his car. The cinematography was amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It is the best cinematography I had ever seen. It's the prettiest movie I've ever seen. I've never sat there and been like, wow, this is a pretty movie. And especially in something that's all just natural, right? There's no sci-fi, there's no CGI. It's all natural and beautiful. And the story is beautiful as well.
Yeah, I think one really cool thing about it is it's about a Japanese man who loses his wife. And it's very interesting to see how people from Japan and their culture deal with loss as compared to us Americans, because we're like told to express our feelings and stuff, and in Japan they're much more they internalize things a lot more, and they're told to do that, and so they're not as expressive. And so when they do express their emotions, it's a very raw feeling, and it's a very big moment.
Yeah, and the way that the 2 main characters internalize their feelings too is very, very heartfelt. They have a special moment towards the end of this movie, and it was all very powerful. I shed a tear or 2 during this one.
My number 3 is Dune.
Dune.
No way.
Dude.
And I can't wait for part 2. And that's all.
Yeah.
Short and sweet. For number 3, I have Red Rocket, directed by Sean Baker. Red Rocket was really surprising to me. I went into it really completely blind. I didn't know anything about it. I knew that it had Simon Rex in it, and that was about it. But Simon Rex's performance in this is one of the most memorable of the year for me. It feels so raw. It feels so genuine. The movie is stupidly entertaining. It's stupidly funny. And hey, unlikable main characters are in.
He was a fucking bitch.
Very sleazy. All right, so my number 3 is Power of the Dog. You think we liked Power of the Dog? Maybe.
No, not
just
enough.
maybe. this will probably be the Best Picture winner for the Oscars, and will more than likely probably win for Best Cinematography. It's funny. This movie, it's very much a slow burn. I wouldn't call it fun, like how Christian said, but it's a very slow burn, the first act, and it almost lost me, really. The only thing that was keeping me in was how beautiful it looked. But the whole movie, that whole burn leads to a very tense last 30 minutes, and it's great.
I have one more thing to say about that. The scene where they show the mountain. This isn't really spoilers, but they show a mountain and they're like, "Do you see the dog in the mountain?"
Yeah.
Did you see the dog?
No,
Yeah.
and no one appreciated when I said Brokeback Dog Mountain, because it was a dog mountain, and I said Brokeback Dog Mountain in my letterbox
That was
review.
good.
Did you not see it?
I didn't know.
I
I
didn't
didn't
see
see
it
the
either.
dog.
There's a shadow that casts, and it looks like a dog
Really?
opening its mouth. Yeah,
I almost rewound it and paused it to stare at the mountain longer, but
it's there, like bottom right. If you look at it,
okay.
We need a movie about Bronco Henry.
True.
we do. All right. Okay. Number 2. This is another one we didn't do a review on. Belfast. I don't know why I loved this movie so much. I just loved, because I expected kind of the bare minimum art house film here, and it was all in black and white. Well, I'd say all. It wasn't all in black and white. It was artfully done black and white with some color at some points, but it's telling the story of Buddy, the child, who is growing up in Ireland during this time of Protestant versus Catholics, kind of fighting each other in the streets, and this basic civil war that's going on. And Buddy is just trying to live out his childhood through this traumatic experience. You get to see him go through hardships of family change. His dad, isn't really there for him all the time. And you just see how he processes things. The cinematography in this one's really good too, but the story here was really, really touching. And seeing how Buddy grows up, and it's kind of a coming of age story, kind of not, just how Buddy has to deal with the hardships that he's given. I mean, they throw the world at him and he's always optimistic, always trying to be happy. And I don't know, it was a very sweet story.
Yeah, Belfast was very much gets into your nostalgia, even though you didn't live in Ireland and didn't live in Belfast. And it's directed by Kenneth Branagh, and it's actually an autobiography of him as a kid. And he was the central character in that movie. And the black and white thing's really cool because he is a director, and they'd go and see plays and movies, and everything's black and white except when they go and see plays and movies, that's color.
That's really cool.
But yes, that's like a cool little thing about that.
Very artfully done.
Me and Hunter didn't see that one. So
Sadly not.
my number 2, I think Alex had this one earlier, was No Time to Die. And I think it's because we watched them all in a week.
Yeah.
And this movie made me cry at the end. And I just...
It was so good, man.
No Time to Die was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a movie, like, I didn't think it'd be this good, especially after watching the previous ones. I didn't think they could live up to the hype, and this was just such a good ending for me.
It really... It was perfect for Daniel Craig to be done.
Yes.
With the franchise.
Spoilers. Daniel Craig.
Don't.
Done.
We... yeah.
Come on, bro.
Well, I mean,
I didn't give no spoilers.
True, no
to
spoilers.
be fair, you've also had like 3 months to see the movies.
I
No
guess.
spoilers.
I guess.
I mean, it's been quite a while.
If you've seen all the James Bond movies and you haven't seen No Time to Die, you need to just see it because it's really freaking good.
It's great.
My number 2 movie is The Worst Person in the World, directed by Joachim Trier. This movie has my 2 top performances of the year with, excuse my pronunciation, Renat Reinsve and Anders Danielsen Lee. Worst Person in the World is just so beautifully shot. It's hypnotically shot. It's written to perfection. It's told so well. This movie is so good. I've only seen it once because I literally just watched it, but good Lord, I can't wait to watch it again. the subject matter is so good. It's about finding yourself. It's a coming of age movie, but the person who's coming of age is 30. It's so good. I love this movie. It's not only one of my 2021 favorites, but it's one of my favorite movies I've seen in a long, long time.
All right, I don't want to derail this. I'm on Google.
Let's derail.
It says this movie releases February 4th of 2022.
Yeah,
it's weird.
That's what we were talking about before we started. It had because I think it's widespread release is 2022, but it's one of the weird movies that is late 2021. So it made the festival circuit last year.
Okay.
So that's why I'm putting it in.
To be fair,
I was just asking.
Yeah.
I was curious.
to be fair, it's allowed because that's not the only movie we kind of cheated at because Judas and the Black Messiah is technically
2020
because it came out in festivals in 2020.
Yeah.
Mind Riders of Justice is also technically 2020 because it came out in festivals in 2020.
Sorry, guys.
That's
Don't yell at me for including.
We just wanted to talk about movies we
Yeah.
like. We just want to talk about movies we like.
I wasn't even criticizing. I was just
Yeah.
how do I watch this?
Yeah,
movie?
because I don't think it got a widespread release date yet.
Yeah.
But I took a trip to Eastern Europe and saw it in the cinema. So
I really wish I could have seen this, man. My number 2, I am definitely not going to talk about this a whole lot. Spoiler alert. But it's... God dang it. No. Spider-Man No Way Home. We had a whole episode about it. Go listen to it if you want to listen to our full thoughts. Yeah, it's probably the most fun I've had in a theater with a theater audience since Avengers Endgame or Avengers Infinity War. Stop.
All right, so we can go ahead. Christian, you want to just do this one together?
Sure, man.
All right.
Stop.
you guys I didn't notice you guys had the same number 1.
We do.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Christian and I's number 1
Keep
was
the professionalism, man.
Spider-Boy No Way Home. This movie I think held a special place in both our hearts. It is just it's a great movie. The nostalgia hit was it was destined to be my number 1 anyways.
It really was. I almost didn't want to put it number 1 just because it was a Marvel movie. I can't lie.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It was I think it was my first 5-star on Letterboxd, and it was beautiful, man.
It definitely deserves it. This is a movie that tries everything and does amazing at all of it. I think it was again, go back, watch our old review, but it is a great movie.
True. All right, Hunter.
My number 1 movie of 2021. It's a big surprise. Nobody saw it coming. But it is Teton, directed by Julia Ducournau. Teton it's hard for me to talk about just because I've talked about it so much with the people I've watched it with. I think I've seen it 4 or 5 times now, and I could watch it 4 or 5 more times. Teton is so amazing to me because it covers so many genres. It's a comedy, it's a horror movie, it's a revenge movie, it's a slasher movie. It's so many different things all in one. But it's not only just covering so many genres, it's covering so many themes. It's covering sexual exploration themes. It's covering gender identity themes. It's covering gender stereotypes. It's so incredible to me. I love this movie so much. Vincent Linden and Agatha Roussel. This is Agatha Roussel's first movie she's ever been in. And man, what a good one to be in. I love Teton. I could talk about it forever. But hey, that's my surprise pick for number 1.
Surprise pick. So my number 1 is Come On, Come On. It's directed by Mike Mills. And if you've seen other Mike Mills movies, it's kind of in the same vein. He has a very good way of making you feel nostalgic while not relying too much on that. And it's funny, this movie's set in modern day, but it still somehow has a way of making you feel nostalgic, mainly because one of the main reasons it's in black and white. But the 2 main actors, Joaquin Phoenix and the child actor Woody Norman, they're both amazing in this. And I wanted to quote somebody on Letterboxd whose review I liked. This is Siegel. I actually follow him.
Shout out Seagull.
He said in the best way possible, this made me want to delete Letterboxd and go out and make real connections in the world. So my number one movie of the year is one that makes me not want to watch movies and just go out in life and just experience stuff. But
That's very cute, Brayden.
yeah,
I wanted to see this movie really bad. I just wasn't able to, but I'm definitely gonna have to see it now.
it also in the same. It simultaneously also makes me hate kids and love kids at the same time. So
Don't we all?
yeah. But hopefully you guys like that. It might be confusing, maybe not. How we did our format. Nice.
Come on.
Might be confusing, maybe not. I'll put all of our top 10s down in the description or something like that. We just wanted to talk about or revisit the movies that we liked from this year. And mainly because not a lot of movies, I won't say that. But we did do podcast episodes about movies we certainly didn't like.
True.
So this gives us an episode to talk about movies we loved.
Especially the movies that we didn't get to talk about during the year, you know?
Yeah.
Like, ones that we didn't get to make episodes on. Like,
All right,
Fast.
surprise pop quiz. Go to your Letterboxd. What was your least favorite movie you saw this year?
Oh, I know that. I have. Okay.
Easy.
Surprise pop
my God.
quiz.
Oh my god. I'm probably gonna have one of the best. Hold up.
I got mine.
Wait. A movie I saw this year, or a movie that came out this year?
Let's stick with the theme. Movie that came out this year.
Came out
Okay.
this year. Just filtered by 2021.
Lowest rating first.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, so Cruella. Who the fuck is surprised? I hated this movie. I watched it like 12 times with my little cousins. This movie's not as bad as like I'm gonna make it sound, but I hated it. I just learned to despise this movie.
It's not as bad as I'm gonna make it sound, but
Listen,
I hate it.
This is just for personal reasons. I hated this movie. It's not horrible. In terms of what movie I thought was actually the worst, easily Venom Let There Be Carnage. But there you go.
Good pick.
The worst movie I saw this year. Oh shit, that's a 2020. I was gonna say Sonic the Hedgehog, but that released in 2020.
We'll just take
guys.
extra time to trash Sonic Hedgehog.
Yeah, Sonic fucking sucks. I hate Jim Carrey. Sorry. Moving on.
No, we do. That is not.
It's not allowed.
A collective thought on this podcast.
That is my personal opinion. I hate Jim Carrey.
Such a hot take.
All right. Actually, the worst movie I saw this year was He's All That.
Come on, man.
Logan is gonna have some words.
He is.
Addison Rae was good in this, man.
That movie was so bad.
You know, I rated He's All That 1.5 stars, and I honestly would bump that up.
No, I also rated it 1.5. Actually, technically, the worst movie I watched this year, it's not really a movie. It was the Taylor Swift short film. I fucking hated that.
Oh, okay.
Besides that, all right,
Oh, no.
Taylor Swift short.
we won't get into that.
Podcast
Hunter,
is getting canceled.
We're upsetting the Taylor Swift fans, and we're upsetting everybody who likes movies because Christian bashed Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
sorry, I ruined it.
My least favorite movie of the year. So I also had Venom Let There Be Carnage, but Alex already said that one. So I'm going to go with Cop Shop.
No,
Really?
It was not that bad.
That movie was not bad.
I despise this movie. It is so goddamn boring. It was so bad. It was so stupid and not good stupid. I fell asleep like 20 times. But yeah, I hated Cop Shop.
So mine is Voyagers. Stars
I forgot to watch that.
stars Ty Sheridan, Lily Rose Depp, and Colin Farrell. It's not a horrible cast. It's the dumbest movie I've ever seen. Like it looks pretty, like on Letterboxd, like it looks like it. Like
That's
a
why
neon
it made my
sci-fi
watch list.
type thing. But it's about kids going in space to like colonize another planet or something. And
So it's like the 100, but bad.
but and there's like a revolt, like the kids lead a revolt in the spaceship, and the characters are so stupid and so dumbly written, and I hate all the characters,
Like-
even the ones that are supposed to be likable.
It sounds exactly like the one.
Like old people trying to write children.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I mean, I watched it for Lily Rose Depp and Colin Farrell, and I hated the movie so much.
Man, I'm sad I didn't watch.
I also
that
have to take time to mention, because I didn't mention it because it's technically a comedy special, but Bo Burnham's Inside is the best thing I've seen this year.
Yeah, that's got to be an honorable mention at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I was going to
surprised-
put this on my honorable
Yeah,
mentions.
I'm surprised that nobody put that in the top 10.
It's technically a comedy special,
Yeah.
and it gives me another chance to add a movie.
Yeah.
But him doing what he did in a room by himself is just amazing, and it definitely it encapsulates how everyone felt during the pandemic that we are still technically going through, I guess.
It's a very good like period piece.
And how he
Yeah,
goes,
it
yes.
is.
Someone also said that like this is like his magnum opus, just like his entire career has led to this, and it's great.
It was really good.
So can we talk about something that we didn't get to talk about? A certain movie that was our most anticipated.
Are you talking? I think I know what you're talking about. I think
Oh my god.
The movie that
the movie we lied about and said we were going to do an episode.
for everyone who's still listening,
Forgot that.
Sing 2 is a good movie. That's all.
Hey, when I was talking about how I was excited for Sing 2, I wasn't kidding, man.
I wasn't either.
Sing 2 was a good time.
It was great.
It wasn't bad.
It lived up to all my expectations.
If
It was a good time.
you don't want to watch the movie, just turn it to like, I don't know, like the last 20 to 30 minutes and just watch that.
Just listen to the soundtrack.
Or that. Yeah.
Hey, when Clay Calloway's girl came out on stage with him in ghastly form,
That was the
man, that
most
one,
dramatic moment of movies.
that
in
was my
2021.
saddest film moment of 2021.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sing 2.
And honestly, the worst part about Sing 2, guys, is that you have to watch Sing 1 to understand it.
Yeah, because like I mean, you can watch Sing 2 with like no context, and like it'll still be a movie.
Yeah, but you just don't
But-
understand how big of a bitch Buster was. in the
Yeah,
first one.
like you don't understand why they're like going to what's the fucking Red Shore City.
Yeah.
Like you don't get the backstory, but I'm sure all the people that listen to this podcast will really care about Sing 2. So if you're gonna go see it, make sure to watch the first one.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if you guys enjoyed our top 10 movies, go ahead and like the video if you're on YouTube, or leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at _PodRats. We will rank your follows.
Yeah, we'll rank we'll have a follower list of the top 10.
Top 10
of people
lists.
who follow us. We'll post it.
Yes, top 10
Yeah.
list. We also want to see your top 10 list of movies. So if you have that, go ahead and comment it on our YouTube or Twitter or wherever you feel comfortable. Your support means everything to us and keeps us motivated to be here. Not every week anymore because we're pretty sparse nowadays. But that being said, we'll see you next time. Until then, put yourself first and take care of each other, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.